this is duntov. So today, as you can see, I'm at the old Mirage site. So I'm on the back side of it by where the pool used to be. So today is Friday, June 27th, 2025. So it's been probably at least a month, maybe even longer, since I was back here. And the first thing you notice is all this dirt they have piled up here. And there's a lot of it. So remember, I was coming back here, I was showing they were building a new HVAC building. So that is totally, you can see it's totally enclosed now, right there. So I think they had like 6 different of the units, like the chillers or coolers. So they loaded them up on the top. So if we look at this building though, you can see it looks like it's finished, and then in the front here, you know, this area looks like part of another building is going to connect onto that. You can see how the finish is different. And I have a feeling, because we could see now if we look down into this little pit, we got the concrete trucks and there's the concrete pump over there. So they're pouring something, some kind of footers, or, you know, they're getting ready to build something in here. It's very bright out here. It's hard for me to see what I'm looking at on this little viewfinder with the sunlight, but I mean, obviously they're pumping some concrete in there, so it's probably, you know, pouring some kind of forms for something there. But if I zoom out a little bit, we can see how, you know, they're down lower in the ground. So could this be like, you know, I don't know the renderings. I haven't seen like this back area, but it is going to be the Hard Rock, so they got to have some kind of theater in here. And the old Love Theater they tore out, so, you know, could they be building a new theater back here? So, you know, I'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep checking on it now that we see that they got some kind of action going. There's a lot of concrete coming in right now, so whatever they're pouring has got to be pretty big. I'm just going to zoom in, and once the video is downloaded, maybe we'll be able to see what it is. So we got the pump truck there. We got the arm. So they're actually pumping the concrete behind this front mound. And then again, that's the HVAC building right there. Don't know where they dug all this dirt out, unless right where they're pumping that concrete now. You know, it doesn't look that big compared to this pile over here. So I'm not sure. Alright, the other thing I noticed when I came up before, it used to say, you know, thank you for the 34 years, whatever. So we got this sign in the back of the building here, and they took it off. At least on this side, it doesn't say it anymore, where it did before on one of those 2 squares. Let me see what time it is. I see a lot of construction people walking around. It is 11:23, so I don't know if it's lunchtime yet. I don't think it is. Alright, so they're pouring something back there, and then if we look at the just part of the old part of the building where they tore it out, this all kind of looks the same. You know, they had all the That's been open for a while. This the lower roof where the walls are off. So personally, I can't remember or see anything different, but I'm just curious to see what they're going to be building over here now. Alright, so here's the back. A lot of dirt, and they're pouring some kind of concrete, probably some foundation or footers or something. So I'll keep checking back here every so often now that we know some more construction's going on. Alright, I'm going to make my way to the front. I'm going to head over to the Venetian and shoot from that side there. Because it's getting pretty hot now, it was like 100 some degrees already driving over here. So Venetian, you're in the shade a little bit. Okay, I'm now at the Venetian. You can see the canal over here with the gondolier. So I stopped at this spot. Usually I go a little farther, but I wanted to stop here because we can see what appears to be the third level and some of the second level, that they're removing some of the shoring on the different floors here. So if you look right there above the palm trees there, we can see how, you know, they're starting to remove the shoring out of there, where, you know, before it all looked like these floors. This one, so this appears to be like the third level, and then this one here, you can see it's a lot bigger area, open area there. So it's taking shape. So far, you know, I know in the renderings the base of the guitar kind of is on top of a regular building. And this kind of appears like just to be still that main base, you know, where the guitar is going to sit on top of it. So, you know, eventually then it's going to start to, you know, to go out where you'll have the shape of the guitar going. You can see right now how they're, all three of these levels are all straight up. So this should be the base that the guitar is going to sit on, if that makes any sense. All right, we got this front crane. We can see it turning. Let me check my phone, see what time it is right now. It is 11:50 right now. So this front crane's spinning around. I'm sure it's gonna pick up something. It looks more like they're setting up all the rebar on this top level now. Let's look around over there a little bit. You can see some of the crew there. It looks like they're gonna put like the columns, they'll attach them onto those ones. You know, like the columns right underneath here. So you can see how the rebar sticks out, so they kind of, you know, put the new piece of rebar cage and then tie it into those ones. And this should be elevator core slash stairwell. If you can hear the opera voice, that's one of the gondoliers. You can see some of the construction stairs right there. All right, so I'm gonna work my way down a little bit so we can get more in the front, or let's see. Oh, this front crane's actually picking something up right now. It doesn't look like anything too big. I don't know if I'll be able to find it in the viewfinder. Oh, there we go. Looks like a piece of rebar or something. Swing it all the way around.
You guys get the gifting, the free gondola ride today? Where are you guys from? I got Bucks tickets too.
Alright, not sure what that was. It was hard to tell in the viewfinder, but it was swinging around pretty good there. But it appears like we can see the arm of one of the concrete pumps. If I had to guess, I would say that's one of the pump truck arms. Not sure how that works, like how high they could get them, or if they actually, if these are mounted onto the building. If anyone knows, let us know. But you know, I'm not sure how big of an arm them things actually come with. So this is up pretty high from the ground. Alright, I'm going to move on down, try to get a more straight on view of this. I just moved down, so this front crane just picks, you know, that one item up really fast, and it's already back down on the ground to get something else. So let's see if we can figure out what they're getting. Right there. Hopefully the music in the background isn't too loud. It's pretty loud, you know, to me. So I don't know if it's gonna pick it up in the video. I'll have to. Then I gotta actually put background music because of the copyright stuff. This one looks like it's gonna be a rebar cage. It's like blending in with the bottom shoring stuff. It's hard to tell what I'm looking at right now. Okay, you can see it looks like some kind of rebar. Alright, looks like it's going to swing around right behind this pillar though, so I'm not going to be able to see it. Alright, I just had to move down because that pillar was in the way, or that big column. So you can see it's like a big sheet of the rebar. It's not really like a cage, it just looks like a flat piece. Okay, we got the bell tower going off. It's 12 o'clock right now. If you didn't know, that's it right there. I feel like we're in St. Mark's Square in Venice. If you've ever been to Venice, this is pretty accurate rendering of it. So never know what's driving down the strip. I'm not sure what that is. Kind of looks like it could have been like slot cabinets, like slot bases. Just from seeing them real quick there. All right, so let's look at the rest of the building here. So if we look at the, you know, you got a lot of these forms and everything in this front area here. Let me zoom in a little bit. You know, they got all the forms and stuff waiting there. But then this area here seems like they cleared out a lot more to keep, you know, you could see that forklift thing moving around. So it seems a lot more open, like, so they could set up maybe a lot more stuff to be picking up. And if we look behind, that back crane's actually moving something right now. They're swinging around. Just zooming out so you could see the cranes at work there. Check out over here, they got like this right here, you can see the blue steel with that like white looking platform. Not sure what that is. Seems like it would be like a more of a brace, like they might put something on top of it, but you got that sticking up right there. Wait and see what it is. That back crane now, whatever they had, must have been more like a bucket to deliver something, because they're bringing that back around. Looks like the same thing they lifted. All right, if you watch my Las Vegas athletics video, so it appeared like they were starting to build a tower crane on, you know, put the base in. And then yesterday when I was out there, it was moved. So they are going to have at least one tower crane there. I'm just wondering, you know, if there will be more, or if they're going to have just the big crawler cranes there like they did at Allegiant Stadium. But yeah, they got at least one tower crane that they're working on getting base installed. So and we'll keep an eye on that. If you're not following me and you'd like to get updates on this transformation as well as the A's Ballpark. You know, give me a subscribe to my channel, please, at Raiders1967. You know, just to see what's going on. It gets pretty good. You know, once that stadium starts coming up out of the ground, then that's when it gets really cool watching that stuff. So check it out. All right, I'm gonna move down just a little bit more so I could get this column out of the shot here. So let me move down and see if we can see anything else. Okay, there's the shot without the column in the way. All right, let's look at we can see the old building. You can see it still has all the gold glass. So, or actually, let me zoom in on the bottom there. I do see something. I don't know if it's just, I don't know if it's the blue glass or not. But if you look at the palm trees by that lower part of the building there, I'm not getting a good focus here. Of course, I don't want to focus. Let's see. All right, but right there, you know, is that going to be the glass? Is that the blue, or is that just like a dark glass? Kind of looks blue to me from here. So could they be trying it out? Sorry for the shake, I'm zoomed in pretty far, but that's the only like different color glass I see. Besides, if you look at the top, they have like where they put the vinyl. We actually saw them in one of my older videos where they were putting some vinyl where these white ones are. I'm assuming it was for like a cracked window, just to seal it off, but that on the bottom looks like the regular glass. So I'll keep an eye on that and see if they, you know, actually start changing any out. Okay, so I just noticed something else, but first I'm going to show you this. So again, we have the main entrance. They got this it used to be the Mirage sign over this entrance here. They removed the one to the left closer to Caesar's Palace. They moved it to it's going to go to the Neon Museum. All right, but the other thing I noticed, they got the main marquee sign here. And now I see, you can just see the top of it. So if you see that like red and gold looking flag flapping there, right behind that is the old, oops, sorry for that shake. We got the old Mirage sign sticking up. And they actually put like a tarp on that one too, because before on the top, even though they took the Mirage lettering down, you could still read Mirage from just, you know, just from being there so long. It like was dirty on the back side of it. So they actually covered that now also. I guess it would look like, sorry for the in and out here, but you know, the top of the building you could still see it, and that's kind of how that marquee was. You could see where they removed the sign and how it, you can still see the Mirage there. So that has been covered up also, but they kept Casino Resort. so they're just working. That one guy's working a little too close to the edge for my liking. I don't like heights, and that's too close for me. Alright, that big sheet of rebar that they lifted up earlier, you can see now they got it unloaded. The front crane is swinging around again here. So it seems like, you know, they're building up whatever that appears to be like an elevator core or stairwell core. So it looks like they're building up all the sides for the walls on that area. I'll stick around a little bit longer just to see what else they pick up. The crew's down there waiting right now. You can see the straps right above. I can't make out what that blue thing is. It looks like a blue tarp. I cannot make out on this viewfinder what it is. Don't know if it's like just a little shelter, like to go cool off in there. I don't know what it is, but maybe after it's down low we'll be able to figure it out. You can see right there, those are all like them bases they used to build the rebar cages. So can't tell. Yeah, looks like another sheet of that stuff. I mean, I don't know if it's called a sheet, but it doesn't look like a regular rebar cage, so. Alright, so they're lifting a lot of that into place over there. Okay, I guess that's all we got for today. So we had some action going on in the back. They had a lot of concrete trucks pumping something back there. I don't know if it's footers or what they're putting in. And then the front, this third level looks complete. Now they're building up again from there. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I will talk with you guys next time.